바둑은 상대를 앞에 두고 어떻게 싸울 것인가를 살피기에 적합한 놀이다. 수를 쌓아가면 그 안에 상대가 무슨 생각을 하는지도 자연히 읽히지.
Interesting. Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Ekmek. It's late at night, but I've barely got enough time to do this. LCD Osa Ishmael.
집단적으로 발생한 뒤틀림은 공통된 분명 매뉴얼에서 본 내용이었는데 공통된 까먹었다.
How out of character for Ishmael. She always knows what's in the manual. Anyway, this will be interesting because there's a lot of mechanics that Ishmael has and hasn't. So anyway, LCD Osa Ishmael. Skill 1, gain 2 poise count. If this unit has haste, gain Mook Workshop, yay. Can gain up to 10 stacks per turn, increase slash damage. Defense skills, lose clash power for every 2 stacks. That's important. The more stacks Ishmael has, the worse her defense skill will handle a clash. Gain poise and inflict bleed. Skill 2, acupuncture. Gain 3 poise count. Gain Mook Workshop for every haste on self. Gain poise, inflict bleed count on crit. Gain 2 haste next turn. Not seeing anything about her picking up haste, but she does gain haste for having stacks of workshop. So kind of a weird roundabout system here. To claim their bones, unclashable. This skill does not trigger defense skills. Deal extra damage for every missing HP on self. Deal extra damage on crit for every haste on self. I think that's 40% missing HP, 5 haste. Gain poise, inflict slash fragility, inflict bleed, inflict paralyze. Defense skill, I'll light the path forward. Clashful guard, gain assist defense, once per turn. Gain haste next turn, gain poise count, gain poise. So I think the idea is that you use her defense skill once and then you capitalize on getting extra workshop, which can lead to more haste. But this is Uptie 1, she's not supposed to be doing anything nice. Clashable guard, assist defense exclusive skill, observing the stones on the board. 5 plus 8 for 13, 9 plus 4 for 13. So this has the higher base power, gotcha. Gain poise and an unbreakable coin. Whereas this is just gain poise count. In terms of passives, on defense skill clash lose, if this unit has 3 plus haste, she cannot be staggered from taking damage until defense skill end. Activate 2 claim their bones after being hit 2 times per turn, excluding force staggers. So basically by the time she hits 15 stacks of this, she is guaranteed to get to claim their bones each turn. If she's lucky and gets a crit on this, then it's nice. To where I must return. Upon entering the encounter for the first time, gain bearing of a Salsu for every Blade Lineage identity on the field except this unit. Gain offense level, gain poise on hit. Lose a stack when an allied Blade Lineage is defeated. If 3 or more Blade Lineage identities excluding this unit are defeated, so that's she loses her max stack. Before skill use, if she did not have Swordplay of the Homeland, gain it. On skill 1 or skill 2, gain coin power plus 3 divided by number of coins to a minimum of 1. Honestly, it's basically saying gain 3 coin power or gain 1 coin power. You can't get anything else. Deal 30 divided by per number of coin percent crit damage on critical hit at 5 poise. At 7 poise, her skill 3 gains way more damage. When this unit gains poise, potency, and count with the skill of coin effects, gain additional poise, potency, and count. If 5 or more Blade Lineage identities are defeated, gain 2 additional poise, potency, and count instead. Alright, so let's take her up to the next level. Speed range goes from 3 to 5 to 3 to 6. On use, at 3 plus haste, gain clash power. Gain poise count. And nothing else there. On use, gain 3 at 3 plus haste, gain clash power. To claim their bones, on use, deal extra damage for all the Mook Workshop yay we have. Combat passive. Gain Dokai V arms and heal Pride Resonance SP for Blade Lineage allies excluding this unit. Interesting. In fact, she's basically just an SP healer for the whole party there. Although Pride Resonance isn't too much healing. Combat start. If there is an allied identity at less than 50% HP, gain assist defense. Skill end. Gain Mook Workshop for every 3 poise potency on self to a maximum of 5 twice per turn. Alright, now she's starting to motor up. Speed range goes from 3 to 6 to 4 to 6. Lucent Rippling Flame. Deal extra damage on crit for every poise on self. Final power +1 for all the haste. At 10 plus Mook Workshop, convert all coins into unbreakables. Gain 3 poise, gain 2 haste next turn, gain a Mook Workshop for every haste on self. Gain poise count, gain poise, deal extra damage on crit, inflict bleed, and slash fragility. Even the balance, Lucent Rippling Flame. This skill does not trigger defense skills. Deal extra damage on critical hit for every poise on self to a maximum of 30%. That's 20 poise potency. Gain 3 poise count. Consume all Mook Workshop yay on self. Gain 3 poise, inflict a bleed. At more than 15, deal 5% damage on crit for every excess stack. So at 25 poise potency, she's dealing a lot more. Inflict a bleed on crit. Reuse this coin once per skill. Okay. So because she's using this at 15 Mook Workshop, she has 3 haste. Oh wait, no, she'd be getting haste next turn. That one's tricky to figure out. I think it's just a nice thing to have. Skill upgrade. Raise the coin power of her skill 1. Raise the coin power of her skill 2. Combat passive enhanced on base attack skill end. Attack skill, not defensive skill. So she could theoretically farm for it with her assist defense. Activate even the balanced Lucent Rippling Flame once per turn. And then add the to claim their bones. Support passive, cut down what must be felled. One ally with the fastest speed deals 10% damage using slash skills. If they have haste, deal 15% instead. Alright guys, it's time. Uptie story time.
바람에 닳고 비에 씻겨도 검결은 흐려지지 않았으니 본의대로 맡은 바를 다할 뿐. LCD 부서 현장 추리팀 소속 이스마엘. 의뢰하신 바에 따라 뒤틀린 포획 시작하겠습니다.
The other team in the LCD, the Phenomena Deciphering Team, gave me a set of prosthetic arms today. These Dokaibe arms, that's what they called them I believe, feel just like my real arms, like I was born with them. It must have cost them a fortune to get me something this fine. I suppose this is once more I am in their debt, which I intend to pay them back in gratitude. They've been telling me things to make me feel better. This is the bare minimum you'll need to work on-site investigation team, or hey, distortions are not going to go easy on you just because you're missing an arm. I know they mean well, they're just trying to make sure I don't feel like I owe them anything. But if I'm being honest, I still feel like I haven't done enough to repay their kindness. Mentor. For all the years I devoted myself to the blade lineage, I lived prepared to let a blade bite into my flesh if it meant seizing an opportunity to cleave through the bones of my enemies. Because that is how a Salsu must carry herself, as the saying goes. When tremors ran through my sword hand, I would not still them before raising the blade. When my arms grew heavy as lead from exhaustion, I would swing through that weight, and knew no other way how to make use of myself. That's who I was. And now, somehow, that same person now spends her days drowning in paperwork. I am doing all I can to learn more about everything that happened, about that accursed artifact they call monolith, and that wretched form you had been reduced to, what they call a distortion phenomenon. My whole life, I've never had so much as a passing interest in anything that wasn't the blade, so taking in all this knowledge to learn about things beyond the steel feels quite unfamiliar to me. It's not so easy to learn new things when you don't even understand half the words you're reading in paper, or what strange contraption the jargon is referring to for that matter. The same document that other people seem to understand after just a quick skim, I've had to reread over and over before its content finally sank in. Then there were times I'd had to ask for the same explanation twice, 3 times even, while others had already understood the material and moved on. But I don't think I hate this feeling. Learning something new every day, feeling my eyes slowly return opening to a world I never knew, is more exciting than I thought. I only wish I had learned sooner that there are ways to view the world through a wider lens, not just what was reflected on my narrow blade. How does one's heart fall apart? How does that fractured heart surface and take physical form? And once we've learned that, how do we prevent it from happening? Or if it has already happened, how do we bring the subjects back from that? What records do we want to keep? What are the signs and things we must watch out for? These are all things I would have never learned had I never unclasped my hand from the handle of the blade. Maybe that's why I feel like I can't relate to the Maxime as how a Salsu must carry herself as much as I used to. Of course, I don't mean to say I've grown ashamed of it, because I am still fond of wielding my blade and will not hesitate to cut down what must be cut down. It's just that I am learning little by little that not every answer has to begin with unsheathing my sword. And I've learned to face what remains when a blade has been wielded. And another thing, as you must be well aware yourself, most fellows here at the LCD are kind folk. I suppose I should admit, their kindness made me uncomfortable at first. I'd never been shown goodwill that asked for nothing in return, so every thoughtful word and gesture of kindness that felt like one more debt settling on my shoulders. But with time, I came to understand something. That there are people who will gladly give me the time of day, off their seats without making anything of it, and explain things I don't understand, without irritation. People who tell me to rest when I look exhausted. The nights I'd fallen asleep in the elements, with the starry night sky as my roof and dirt beneath me as my bedding, are starting to fade beyond the veil of memories. The days when I'd crawl under a stranger's eaves when it rained. The days when we'd been admired in an endless strife against the black clouds. They seem so distant now. For months now, I've been waking up in a cushy bed that sings softly when I lie on it. I haven't gone a single day these past few months uncertain of where my next meal would come from, or if I'd even have enough water to wash the day's grime off. If I have any worries these days, there are concerns I would have once called luxury back in the day. Now frivolous questions like, what drink do I want to get today, as I make my way back to the office? I still can't decide if this is the kind of lifestyle that suits me. But if the team can tolerate my presence here for a bit longer, I intend to remain until I can find my own direction in life. The day might come when I decide this path isn't for me and choose to leave. But by then, I hope I'll have become someone who has learned to grasp a better sense of the road ahead. I don't suppose you'll be changing anytime soon, mentor. You'll still wander off on your own without telling anyone, or retreat to your room and shut yourself away for days. Yes, I know well enough the path to recovery is an arduous one. Wounds of the heart are unlike wounds of the flesh after all. You can't simply stitch them shut, salve them with ointment, and expect everything to be alright. But, at the very least, I'd like you to remember this. The Blade lineage is no more, but you and I, mentor, we survived. And the living have their own responsibilities they must see to. Whichever journey you embark on, whether you choose to take up the Blade again, abandon it forever, fulfill your responsibilities to the Blade lineage, or return to S-Core, never lose sight of what you must do. No, never lose sight of where your heart really wishes to go. Ugh, Junior, you're still writing? It's for that guy, right? Oh wait, that's Ezra. Well, it is, but I guess I just had a lot on my mind I wanted to tell him. So, how are you feeling about today? Got the butterflies, no anxiety attacks? It's your first real mission with those banging new arms? Oh, actually, question mark, question mark, question mark. This might be a Limbus Sinner's version here. A bit anxious, yeah, but I'm not afraid. I couldn't feel any better. Gotcha, Junior. I'll trust you to have my back then. Team leader's already pinpointed the inflection point, so all you gotta do is cut right through to that part. Understood. Then, Limbus Company Osea team, Distortion Specialist Ishmael, commencing mission. I was half expecting it to just be an entire Uptie story of her sitting there and not actually getting any action, but no, they had to throw it in at the very last second. Justify having that screenshot. Alright, we... Okay, Uptie 4. At 5+ coin power, 5+ poise gain coin power. Clash power for every 5 bleed on the target. If this unit has Dokaibe arms and 3+ haste, reuse this coin. At 5+ poise coin power, clash power for all the bleed on a target. If this unit has Dokaibe arms and 3+ haste, reuse this coin. Crit, gain haste next turn, but only once per turn, so I guess even if you get the reuse and double crit, it's not going to give you extra haste. Lucent Rippling Flame, coin power +1 for all the poise on self and bleed on target to a maximum of 2. On crit, gain Mook Workshop. On crit, gain Mook Workshop. On crit, gain Mook Workshop. Don't know how close you'd have to be to critting to get guarantees from that, but on use, deal 1.5% damage for every poise on self, to a maximum of 30%, so it caps at 20 poise. Deal 5% on critical hit for every haste on self to a maximum of 25%. On crit, gain Mook Workshop. Okay, so she gains extra Mook Workshop, but only on crits and only on Uptie 5. Add a Sin type to her Clashable Guard. Skill end. If we have haste, gain Mook Workshop once per turn. Heal 5 SP on target this unit guarded using assist defense. That's very nice. And of course I saved it for today for a reason. You know what we're gonna do. I even went for a 10-wave luxcavation, blunt luxcavation, so that I would definitely have enough tickets to do this. Remove you.
잠시 같이 걸을 텐가.
저를 부르셨다는 건
수금할 시간.
아,
단테, 이번에는 누굴 베어버리면 되는 거야?
I think I put Gregor there because I was using this team in mirror dungeons actually.
벤단 4월을 건
야!
미리 경세를 살피고 있었죠.
Ah, dang it.
뵐 수 있겠죠?
이 주변은 귀하에겐 해가 될 수 있으니 물러나시길.
Twice per turn. Gotcha. We really need to get rid of this foot.
죄를 새겨주겠어.
욕참. 골당.
욕참 골단
Finally, we got rid of those darn roots. And now I think Mersault and Ishmael need to focus on doing other things. So they can get some of those bleed stacks off.
발권. 처단. 아름다운 것. 그렇지 않은 것.
이 구석구가 나의 폭력을 저지하기엔 턱없이 모자르지.
총선이 튀었던 순간을 기억하나요? 지금이군요.
귀와 요격. 침착한 결과입니다.
Alright, round 2. This will probably stagger him from hitting the fruit though. Oh well. Yeah, her assist defense feels rather useless as an assist defense, and it feels more like it just exists to give us free hits.
랜담 사활을 건다.
귀와 요격. 균형 삼수. 당근. 장민화.
망월 참아. 숨을 거두랴.
Oh wait, I guess it must have staggered the fruit.
다음번에는 뺄 수 있겠죠?
흐트러지게.
And there go the roots. Oh yeah, but she's got audacity stacks, so we should probably aim to finish this round quickly.
발광. 차단. 삼수.
It
정리화.
strikes me that Snag Harpoon might actually be the superior option for Ishmael with this identity,
확실하게 갈라지는 감각이었네.
because it's both a pretty good clashing ego for Zayn, but also it's going to help her lose clashes.
무대비들.
야!
달빛이 밝고 그 문까지 밝힌 나를 떠.
아름다운 것. 그렇지 않은 것.
18!
다음번에는
I wish it was easier to predict skill rolls before battle begins, because it just feels like the numbers aren't accurate.
칼거 차단. 전투가 이어졌다면 균형 상수. 끌고 수밖에.
승부수가 먹혀들었군. 판세는 완벽히 우리에게 있어.
Where Soul got higher, but
정착지를 찾을
not by
때까지
much.
이 기세를 잃지 않기를.
Might be interesting to send them into the slash excavation even though they've slightly out-leveled it. But those are things to do another day and off-screen. So, until next time guys, take care. I'll see you all around.
도시에서 제일 강한 해결사? 우드는 여전히 마음이 맑아지지 않았어요. 검계에 대한 이야기도 S사에 대한 이야기도 여전히 미루고 있을 뿐이죠. 언제쯤 그 병세가 나아질지는 모르겠지만 마음을 정하실 때까진 곁에 남아 보필해야죠. 그 뒤에는 모르겠지만